Hey guys, you think Chris Angel watched Lord of Illusions as a kid?
Yeah, 100%.
Really? What makes you say that?
Oh, because they're both terrible.
Yeah.
What?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Steven Slaughter.
I'm Ian Fuego
Here to do a Patreon requested review from Nick Oakes himself.
Ah, dude.
This
Pleasant night, sir.
Indeed, this is for Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions.
Indeed.
Which is starring the Quantum Leap Man himself, Scott Bakula.
Indeed.
Bakula?
Where he's from.
Like Dracula and Fuegula.
Scott Dracula on the ones and twos today. So here we go, guys. We're gonna get into this review like we do normally our reviews, which is talk about the overall thoughts, then the story, the acting, the effects, all that good stuff in turn.
Is this the last movie he directed? I think it was.
It might be fully directed, possibly. This was post Nightbreed. I know that.
Fully made
But yeah. So my overall thoughts on this one changed, having not watched this in years and years. Actually, no. Let me take that back. I didn't like it really either time. So I didn't like it much back in the day. I wanted to give it a new look, and it just didn't. This one just doesn't catch me outside of the practical makeup effects. I liked that. Once again, had this similar issue with the last one we reviewed, but ultimately I was not really a fan of Lord of Illusions. Susie von Slaughter.
Garbage.
Jesus Christ.
That is her exclamation about her thoughts on this. Boy, not even your fellow Brit. You just can't get down with the Mr. Barker on this one.
Fucking terrible. Like, all the acting, everything. I felt like Nicolas Cage should have been in this movie somewhere.
You're not far off.
Interesting.
Like,
yeah, that could have worked.
Scott Bakula is kind of the poor man's Nick Cage after a fact. Yeah.
I think he's good in this. Come on, guys.
Of course. Oh, well, all right.
Okay,
I
fair
mean, you
enough,
obviously
Fuego.
have
You
more
go
to
ahead.
talk about.
No, this is funny because I watched this when I was a lot younger and I thought it was kind of dumb. I didn't like it very much. Maybe it's because I just started Books of Blood and Barker at the Moon. Stay tuned, for that on the Horror Show. But I must say, I didn't hate it as much as I did the last time I watched it, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't remember it really very well either. The whole just cult aspect with him and his followers and the weirdness of that. The film definitely drags. In the midsection, it drags like a mofo.
I hate everything with Scott Bakula. I actually like the cult stuff. Yeah,
really.
I like the cult guy. Like I thought he was a good villain, and I liked how they came back and stuff. So.
And the third act where they try to do what they do with him without spoiling stuff is actually very well done. Where the reemergence of followers and everything, the film is bookended very well. The middle section really suffers significantly, and yet it's so funny because Harry D'Amour is a big character in the Clive Barker mythology. In fact, in the Scarlet Tapes, I think it was, or
Scarlet something. Yeah,
it's basically his character and Pinhead. Yeah.
I really want to
which is where
read that.
I can't wait to start
going through. And that's my Audible.
Which is where I can't wait to start going through all of these Barker books and really just kind of getting
Barker at the Moon.
Yes, Barker at the Moon is what I'm so affectionately calling it. But it's not a perfect film, but it has enough interesting things going on, even if the
Scarlet Gospels, I think is what it is.
Yes, exactly. Even if it's not always there with the execution, I like the ideas enough of what they're going for here. And there's a few really messed up lines of dialogue, especially in the back half where he's like, "We've been waiting for you. Embrace the darkness," and all this different stuff. That's on a Nevermore album, one of my favorite metal bands from Seattle, man.
I have a credit available.
Yeah.
That is going in. I've been wanting to get that for a while.
That's what she said. Yeah, it's not a perfect film.
I feel like we should have air guitared right there.
Yeah, so it's not a perfect film by any means, Nick, but I appreciate the themes and some of the gore.
Done and done.
Is really...
Expect a review at some point from Fuego
really
and
solid. Yes, exactly.
Because I'll listen to that for sure.
Yeah. So,
are you going to cover that on Barker at the Moon? You should.
Well, I had planned on doing the same thing I did with Joe and with Steve.
Just going through all this stuff.
Go through all this stuff.
Hell yeah.
That's why I started reading.
So I've got some time, but cool.
That's why I started reading Books of Blood. We're still really. I still have Weave World and Cabal and Susie's Groovin'. So let's get to let's get to the story.
Acting.
Who wants to?
Oh no, story. You're right.
Really
Yeah,
tell
sorry.
story. Should I do
Go
story?
ahead.
Yeah. Go
Do
for
it.
it.
I just
Do
watched
it.
this the other night. So
Do it.
So essentially, the film starts
Do
15 years before the actual release. So it's what, early 80s? It's like 81 or 82, something like that. And there is this almost like team of 3 peeps who are infiltrating a cult house where there's a guy who is an illusionist, but he's revealed to be an illusionist beyond your regular means very quickly with, you know, the fire and all the different stuff that he has at his disposal. And then he's kidnapped a young girl, and that is why these 3 people are trying to descend upon this place. And yeah, they end up killing him, and they bind him with this metal helmet kind of thing. When they show this, like, you know, like drill bit, screw, whatever the hell you want to call them, going into his head and stuff. It's some really nasty practical. And so this guy is presumably so powerful that they have to just do away with him and just bury him.
But they can't
deep in the
actually
ground.
kill him, right? The
They
best they
cannot
can do is
completely
bury
kill
him.
Exactly. And so it flash forwards to 15 years afterwards, and there are still followers of his trying to find his undisclosed burial place. And they want to figure out how to bring him back. You know, they're dead set upon it, and yet one of the guys who aided in vanquishing him, is none other than the guy who has almost taken those pointers and used them to a stage show and to his advantage, even though his intentions seemed so noble initially.
The guy with multicolored eyes.
Swan, you're like my thing, Swan, and all that.
What are you looking at, Swan?
What you're looking at?
Yeah, it's the guy from it's the dude from Deep Rising.
Yeah,
who
Deep
you
Rising
think, he's been in
and
a ton of
the
different
Bone
things.
Collector, even, and he was. There was something else he was really.
He's had so many
yeah,
genre roles.
little
man. He's a
little
face that
character bit parts.
Yeah, he's a face that I immediately recognize. And then we have Funka Johnson as the grown-up version of the girl who was saved, who is now his wife.
Yeah, Franca
And
Jensen. Was this before or after Goldeneye?
That's a good question.
I want to find out.
I want
right
to say
now.
it's right around that time, because Goldeneye was like 94, and this was 15 years after, but... Yeah, good question. But anyway, so she is the grown-up version of this girl who was saved by these 3 guys who infiltrated, or well, there was 2 guys and 1 girl, if I remember, who infiltrated the cult area, saved her life, and this Schwan guy has now gone on to be a master illusionist.
Same year.
Both
Okay, 95.
So she doubled down. So she did.
Yeah, she did.
Very very despondent aspects in the fact that, you know, she was in Goldeneye. Which
Well,
was
as
an
Goldeneye,
action-
she was Xenia Onatopp, and I thought she was a foreign actress, like when I first saw it.
Well,
so
based on the name,
don't
too.
floss.
Based on the name.
Don't fucking
Based on
floss.
the name too. I
Yeah,
mean,
if you're gonna floss,
yeah.
get the hell out of here.
I love Funka Johnson though. I think she is a babe, and she's actually a very talented actress as well. There's few that can straddle that line and be able to do both. You know, oh so very
I
well.
don't even know
but,
how to do it.
That was the first time
That's
I've ever
why
done
you're
it in my
not
life.
allowed to, so.
yeah, but
Don't do anything I can't do.
But it essentially boils down to, you know, Schwann's character has this sort of like paranoia aspect of the people who still follow this guy being after him, and that is one of the reasons why the Bacula character Harry DeMore goes and, you know, investigates the situation and is sent from the weird situation that we first encounter him in, and the violence involved and everything.
There's no like earbuds in her ears or anything.
Oh yeah, she's just
this is
grooving.
all internal.
Yeah, she is.
I got a specific song in my head.
Okay.
So
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, as it boils down, it's really not much beyond that that we can spoil,
No.
really, because of a big twist that happens in the first like 30-40 minutes with our main illusion character, the Schwan guy. And there's more investigation that goes down and more reveals and more craziness. Once again, I feel like the first act and the third act are great. Susie probably doesn't think any of it is great. So how about we just revert to you?
Yeah, go ahead, Susie.
Since you seemingly...
Actual critical opinion here. What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like any of it. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the acting. Special effects. Don't even get me started on that shit.
When the swords dropped, that looked good.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
well,
was
that's
like
practical though. I
yeah,
mean,
that's practical. That's not. That was probably the only good
And
thing.
the makeup
'cause-
effects on
okay,
him and
that
stuff
was
at
the
the
one
end,
thing that
like, I
did
thought
get
that
me
looked
because
cool.
I was
Susie
waiting.
is talking about the CG deconstruction.
Yeah.
of
Oh,
certain
God,
people,
that-
which looks
yeah, that is
very
what I was
much
talking
of
about.
the era. It's like Lawnmower Man status.
Yes.
Yeah,
CGI.
that was one. I will give it to that sword scene. That was a good one because I was expecting him to be like, haha, and oh no, that really happened. You know what I mean? So that was
The
the
mid
only good thing.
90s was like giving children new toys to play with in the 3D CGI department and stuff. And it's not always going to be T2, guys. Sorry.
No. That's for
know?
sure.
It's terrible.
They can't all be James Cameron.
No, not
So, the
nobody
acting. I thought the acting, we already touched on a little bit. I don't like Scott Bakula at all. I think he's tough for me, man. He's tough.
Okay. He's okay. I mean, the guy who steals the show, even though we only see him once again in the first and the third act, is the cult leader.
The cult leader. And
great.
Famke Janssen, I liked. I thought she did good.
No, I like her and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, calm the fuck down.
Take
Jesus.
it easy now.
I'll take that Xenia on a top death grip any day.
You know what's funny? Now that I think about it, she
As
was
I die, I'll
hungry.
just be like, la, la, la,
Dude,
la.
now that I think about it, she was also with the same guy who played her husband in this. She was also in Deep Rising. She was also in Deep Rising with that same guy. Anyway, nobody's paying attention.
Wait, Famke Janssen was in Deep Rising?
Yeah.
Oh my god, when was Deep Rising? Was that before?
She was no, that was 98. So that was after this.
Okay.
Yeah. She was the Treat Williams love interest, but the guy who played Swan was the
Okay.
All right, Cardi.
Yeah.
I don't even
Josh,
know.
I hope you're watching.
Cardi? What's a
gonna-
Cardi?
Don't worry about it.
Horrible. Whatever we're talking about.
Cardi Cricket.
Nick, I'm so sorry, Nick. So very sorry.
Yeah, really.
I beg your
I'm
pardon.
trying to
I hope this is at least worth his Patreon money because Jesus.
He's a big fan of us, and he's a really cool friend.
I bet
but
he'll
yeah,
love it.
no.
Are we still reviewing Dracula? What are we on right now?
No, guys, we were on
Chris
Lord of
Angel.
Illusions.
Right,
Yeah,
Lord of
yeah,
Illusions.
no,
Chris Angel.
we were talking about Chris Angel and the fact that he has a stage show that goes awry about 40 minutes into this movie, which is what I would love to see happen to Chris Angel.
It's a murder mystery that's resolved 20 minutes after the murder mystery is presented.
Because we can't.
I'm just saying it's weird. It's weirdly paced. It's weirdly presented.
Why
the
can't we
acting
say
is
it?
okay at parts, but to give it a real critical look, it just was a bit nonsensical and outside of the effects. I just wasn't bought into really anything until the third act. I liked the third act quite a bit.
I like the
Me
third
too.
act a lot too, and it's basically you're not convincing anybody. You know, this is all based on an entry from the Books of Blood, Volume 6. Okay, and it was called The Last Illusion, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is one of the last of the short story collectible things that Barker put together. But Demore came back in both. I think he was in Weave World, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, we mentioned the Scarlet Gospels, and so he is a character that Barker comes back to time and time again. And this was him developing.
He's the Jack Reacher of the Clive Barker universe.
Of sorts, I guess. And you know, he developed
Jack
him,
Reacher.
he developed him a lot more so here on screen than even we had seen previously up to this point. But if we're going to segue, since we've already talked story, we've already talked acting, I think we should talk effects.
Absolutely.
Because I think that despite
It runs the
poor
gamut. It
storytelling-
goes from 0 to 10 in the effects department
well,
in this movie.
and honestly,
For real.
when there's gore, there's decent gore in
Yeah.
this movie. Like people being impaled by poles and all this craziness. Like, that's right. And also the scene that I always point out to, and I was talking off camera with Cecil about it, is where there is the reconvergence of the followers, and there is a summoned rainstorm that transpires, and it basically turns this entire desert area into mud, and the followers start sinking into the mud, and then the mud suddenly starts to harden as the rainstorm passes over, and these people are like caught in the hardening just fleshiness of the dirt. It's a creepy scene. It's unsettling. I think visually it's very well done, and that's one that personally sticks out to me. And also just where they have to all crawl across the glass just to get to him and stuff. There's some really strange acts of penitence, and he's like, none of you are worthy, only Swan is worthy. I like the third act of this movie. The second act pretty much squeezes out a turd. The second act squeezes out a boring turd and like...
Good lord.
Yeah, well, no,
Wow, okay.
well, no,
Open your
and-
mouth. You're going to swallow a turd.
Well, and then even beyond that, like the whole,
too
Bakula trying to swoon Funka Johnson's character after some things changed with another one. It just, I did not buy any of the middle of this movie. Although I did find it funny where, when you and I were with Josh in L.A.
Yes.
and we drove by that house, the weird castle-looking seance-type house where they film scenes in the movie in that particular place, and where he calls out that guy on his accent. He's like, "What's that accent, New York?" And he's
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
"Yeah, you're an asshole, man."
Yeah.
And he just walks away, and it's that guy I've seen in so many different things, and I cannot recall the name of the actor, but yeah, I mean, it's I
Cool
feel
story,
like
bro.
Cool story, bro.
Sorry.
No. I feel like Barker did a good job of directing this movie. However, he did a poor job of writing the movie and making it, just progress from theme to theme and flow really well. He has some very on-point bits of dialogue here and there, the spooky chisel that I mentioned, and then also he has some great set pieces as far as just gore and things of that nature. Like also where somebody gets thrown down like a vast cavern and stuff.
Well, and
there's some cool spots in this movie, but as a whole, it doesn't succeed entirely.
Let me, since we're talking about effects, let me warn any of you origami-phobiacs to beware of the folding digital effects, because that was apparently what was scary in 1995, is ghosts that fold inward upon themselves. Like, did you notice that? Like, it was just like fold, 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 fold,
well,
fold,
that's why
disappear.
I made the Lawnmower Man reference.
Like, holy crap. Yeah, same damn thing. So, all right, let's call it there. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.
No, it's not that bad, but it's definitely not. It's not as bad as I remember.
I'll take the Necronomicon Books of Blood retelling. I am excited to actually talk about that when you get to that. I liked that movie. It might have actually been called Books of Blood.
Yeah, it was called Books of Blood. It was the wraparound story in the initial one. It's the one where the kid acts like he has the spiritual.
No, no. There was one single movie where the dude is like looking at a Necronomicon and it starts writing itself on his skin and stuff like that.
I have seen that movie and
that's a good one.
And it's different from the source material then, if that's the case, because I watched that movie and I don't remember it. It's basically about this kid who poses as somebody who can speak to the dead, and in fact he can't, and then they go to this particular house where there is actual spiritual presence, and they turn him into a physical piece where they all start writing on him.
That's what it was.
That's a good one actually.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. All right, so let's go ahead and call that review for Lord of Illusions here. Sorry, Nick.
Nick, you're my dude. Long days and pleasant nights, as always.
So, thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to become a patron and subject us to movies like this, click that link in the description box down below. Yeah, lots more of the dancing.
Lots more of Susie.
Thank you very much for watching.
In like a 70s Italian horror movie.
If you don't want to support us in that way, and I don't blame you after this review, go ahead and just click the like button because you had fun watching us make fools of ourselves, and then subscribe to come back and watch us do it again. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Von Slaughter.
And I'm Jaime in Fuego.
And remember,
stay
scared.